Dr. Maren, thank you. Thank you for sharing your original technical report with us through Jim DeLong. The fact that you opened the manuscript to outside scrutiny told us, before we read a single line, that you are interested in correctness, not protection. We have tried to honour that. What you are about to see is an audit-grade collaborative review of variational free energy minimization in active inference, organised around your Themesis technical report TR 2019-01 verse 6 as a test case for the audit method itself. We treat your manuscript as a test case, not a target. We are explicit that this is a second pass audit on work that Carl Friston has already reviewed. The contribution we are offering is not new mathematics. The underlying identities are standard since Beal and Friston's subsequent work. What we are offering is transparent provenance, reproducible numerical verification, and an honest map of where this manuscript is fully secured and where it most needs your expert eye. Over the next 10 minutes, we will walk through the documents, the error register, the interactive math, the active inference agents, and the open questions. Let us begin. The repository is one Git tree with 4 interlocking artifacts. The first is the manuscript itself, version 2, 1137 lines, pinned to the audit chain by sentence-level provenance. The second is the audit chain, the V1 audit of audit, 5 ODA worksheets running from phase 1 through phase 5, 27 documented patches V1 to V2, and a 145-row provenance map that traces each load-bearing claim to its evidence class and source anchor. The third is the reproducibility suite, 87 PyTest assertions across 11 deterministic numerical demonstrations, with bit-identical reference output and a 9-cell continuous integration matrix covering Linux, Windows, Mac OS, and Python 3.11 through 3.13. The fourth is this user interface, deployed at Active-inference collaborative review. Versal app, your tour guide for the rest. We start with documents. The deployed viewer surfaces every readable file in the repository, 80 files across 9 logical groups. On the left, a file tree groups the manuscript, the audit chain, the ODA worksheets, the provenance trail, the reproducibility suite, and the agent code. Pick any Markdown file, and the viewer renders it with full CAR-TX math typesetting. The manuscript V2 alone contains 583 inline math expressions and 22 display equations, all of them rendered live. Cross-references resolve as clickable links. The provenance map is shown as a sortable, filterable table. Click any header to sort, type into the box to filter, all client-side. Dark and light mode toggle from the header and persist across navigation. This is the section we most need you to inspect. The audit register, accessible from the audit tab, lists all 16 findings against your manuscript, 7 serious, 7 moderate, 1 minor, non-fatal. Every single finding has been verified verbatim against your PDF in Phase 5 of the remediation plan, and every card carries a PDF verified badge. We want to land 4 findings briefly. E1 is the role reversal at equation 2, the parenthetical, that calls Q the true posterior, and P the variational density. Under the standard variational inference identity, Q is variational and P is the exact posterior under the model. The audit reads this as inverted. We have flagged it as serious with confidence 5 out of 5. E2A and E2B sit together in section 6.2 of the PDF, page 38. Phrase we flag, quote, the free energy for the model is a lower bound for the free energy of the external system, reverses the canonical bound direction. The aggravating context, which we found in Phase 5 by reading the original PDF directly, is that your own preceding paragraph on page 37 explicitly says, we reverse the signs and the direction of the inequality. The bound direction in section 6.2 then goes the other way. We mark this as serious 5 of 5. This is precisely the kind of finding where a single different read from you closes it. E10 is the CVM bridge gap, the most original of your contributions, and the place where the audit explicitly says, we are uncertain. We will return to it in segment 8. E8 was the most contested finding. Phase 5 settled it by direct PDF inspection. Equation B1 on page 54 lacks the minus sign, as the audit said, but the refined reading is that B1 is the Beal convention form, and B8 on page 58 is the Friston convention form with the minus sign restored. Your own page 56 self-flag, quote, "We do not have agreement," marks the same ambiguity. The settlement is on the audit register card. Math Runner, 11 deterministic numerical demonstrations from your perspective, runnable in the browser. The same Python source that produces the canonical reference output, ported to TypeScript and verified to match. Test 1 is the discrete two-state model, binary eta, binary y, the master identity. Move the Q slider towards 0.05 and F balloons to 2.5 nats. Move it to the exact posterior at Q equals 0.91 and F drops to the surprisal value of 0.37. The band becoming tight. The pass badges show that form 1 equals form 2, the energy minus entropy, and KL plus evidence decompositions agree to machine precision. Test 4 is the Gaussian conjugate, closed form KL between two Gaussians. Two sliders, one for mean and one for variance, both drive the free energy live. Test 11 is the complexity accuracy decomposition we added in phase 2, the third form of equation 2.5 from Parr, Pezzolo, and Friston's 2022 textbook. All three forms agree to 10 decimal places on both discrete and continuous models. The Python source is the canonical oracle. 87 PyTest assertions pass on Python 3.11, 3.12, and 3.13. Docker reproduces bit-identical output. The TypeScript port is here for interactive feedback, not for verification. Active-inference agents, 2 reference implementations, running live in your browser, written in pure TypeScript and faithful to the variational identity. There is also a JIDO scaffolding under the Agents Elixir folder for production deployment under OTP, following the binding rules in agents.md. Agent A is the discrete two-state model from test 1. Binary eta, binary y. The agent maintains a variational posterior Q of eta equals 1, observes y, performs perceptual inference by exact, Bayesian update, and selects an action, flip or no flip, by minimizing expected free energy. Watch the belief converge from 0.5 towards 0.98 as observations of y equals 1 accumulate. The Markov blanket partition is shown explicitly, sensory states in the obs column, active states in the action column, internal states in the belief column. Agent B is the Gaussian conjugate from test 4. Same architecture, continuous variational posterior action set -1, 0, +1, driving belief mean towards the homeostatic prior MQ drifts from 2 towards 0, sigma Q tightens from 2 towards 0.3. Save and load buttons round trip the agent state to JSON for replay or sharing. Neither agent is offered as a result. Both are pedagogical reference implementations of the variational identity in motion. Search is the simplest surface. Full text search across every readable file in the repository. Type Markov blanket, 22 file matches, more than 100 total hits, ranked by frequency, each with context snippets and clickable links into the document viewer. Use it to find any term from your TOR. It will surface every place that term lives in the audit chain. We come now to the most important section, where your expertise is most needed. Phase 5 of the remediation plan settled the E8 finding. What remains are 5 layer 2 gates on primary source citations and the CVM bridge proposal. Together, these are the spaces where we explicitly say we are not yet sure. They are the places a single read from you changes the verdict. The 5 layer 2 gates pending. Beal 2003 section 2.2.1. Friston 2013 on non-equilibrium steady state. Friston 2015 equations 3.1 through 3.4. The send up to Stemla Friston 2013 Helmholtz quote. And Kikuchi and Brush 1967 cluster entropy. None of these require independent acquisition of primary sources. You know each of these literatures deeply. The gate questions are listed in Layer 2 inspection specs.md. The CVM bridge is the place we most need your read. The audit's view is that the CVM material is promising as a proposal, but not yet a derivation, because 4 items have not been made explicit. 1. The generative model in CVM-compatible form. 2. The variational family parameterized by the configuration variables. 3. The objective relationship between FCVM and f of q equal, upper bound, gap controlled. And 4. The assumptions under which the bridge holds. This is not a gotcha finding. If you have already constructed this bridge in unpublished notes or in literature we missed, we want to know, and the audit gets repaired in your favor. And the framing for all of this, your TA carries a verbatim acknowledgement to Cal Friston for, quote, careful, detailed, and thoughtful reviews. Your manuscript was Friston-reviewed before publication. What we are doing is a second structured perspective, not a first opinion on unreviewed material. Phase 5 of our plan was a worked example of how the audit corrects itself. When you sent the original PDF, we found and reversed our own prior error about the arXiv identifier, which we had previously marked as suspicious. The PDF showed the watermark was real all along. We documented the reversal publicly in the same OJR worksheet. That is the posture, repair-friendly, not defensive. Appendix F of the manuscript closes with 10 suggested review questions. We will not read them now, they are on screen. The single question we most want your reaction to is question 7 on CVM, and the broader question 10 on whether the manuscript's overall posture of humility and provenance discipline is appropriate, excessive, or insufficient. Dr. Maren, we are aware that you have built much of the world we are now standing in. The variational identity you teach, the active-inference framing you have helped formalize, the CVM proposal you open to the field. These are not subjects we approach lightly. We have tried to be careful with your manuscript. We do not assume we have been careful enough. The single open question we would most love your reaction to is this. Of the 3 findings we marked serious, the QP reversal, the bound direction wording in section 6.2, and the CVM bridge gap, which, if any, do you read differently than we do? If even one is a misreading on our part, the audit gets repaired in your favor. We will publish the reversal in the same way we reversed our prior arXiv identifier claim when you sent us the PDF. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the work you have already done. We are grateful to be in the room. A second, explicit, thank you to Jim DeLong for the introduction, the encouragement, and for being the bridge that made this collaboration possible. Reach back any way that suits you, through Jim DeLong, by email, by GitHub issue, or by reply to whichever channel brought this to you.